So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Now listen, we back to check out some new ocean discoveries. But what's our motto? Stay out of the water. That should be your motto. Let's check this video out.
The Earth is mysterious, and no matter how far we've come in understanding everything, there will always be something that will leave us searching for answers. This is especially true for things that lurk in our oceans. From a mysterious blue goo to a strange green flash, here are 20 most unexplained things found in the middle of the ocean. Number 20. Mysterious blue goo. In 2022, researchers spotted this bizarre blue goo using a high-tech remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, in the depths of the Caribbean Sea. Needless to say, researchers of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration were quite stumped. They were exploring the North Atlantic when they came across this bizarre object at a depth of between 1,335 and 2,005 feet. So what could this blue goo possibly be? Well, the thing is, even scientists themselves are quite unsure. Some scientists speculate it might be a type of soft coral, sponge, or even a tunicate, those gelatinous marine invertebrates often referred to as sea squirts. However, no one could definitively identify the blobs during the live stream discussion. One scientist even humorously claimed that at least he's sure it's not a rock. The next steps for scientists involve sending images and videos of the blue goo to experts in corals and sponges. Given the vast number of species, around 2,000 soft corals, 8,500 sponges, and 3,000 tunicates, which easily totals over 13,500 species, identifying this enigmatic creature is no small task. If experts can't pinpoint what it is from the footage alone, the mystery will persist until a sample can be collected for further analysis. Even then,
Now, what if these start showing up close to shore? This thing could be highly poisonous. Imagine you walking around and stepping on it.
samples might not always yield an answer. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 19. Alien holes. Here's another bizarre discovery by researchers aboard NOAA's Okeanos Explorer vessel. Strange alien holes. While exploring about 1.6 miles beneath the mid-Atlantic ridge, researchers came across holes that form straight lines and repeat at regular intervals, surrounded by tiny piles of sediment. Now, it's possible that these holes are merely the result of natural phenomena, but with how deliberately they're spaced together, it's hard to simply dismiss it as a natural phenomenon. The mystery isn't new. Similar holes were observed in 2004 by marine scientists from the U.S. National Marine Fisheries Service. They suggested that the raised sediment around the holes indicated they were created by some organisms living beneath the seabed. However, no one has witnessed any creature making these holes, and so researchers had to look for a different answer. Some theories include underwater gas pockets, tectonic activity, or even unknown marine animals burrowing through the sediment. Despite the abundance of speculations and theories, there are still no leads about how these holes formed. Extraterrestrial involvement? Starfish cartwheeling on the seabed? We can only speculate. Any theories? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Number 18. Spaghetti worm seafloor. There are a lot of strange things in the ocean, and this just might be among the weirdest. You're looking at a bizarre deep-sea worm that was spotted by researchers from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, or MBARI, back in 2012. With its appearance, it strangely looks like a bizarre glowing lump of spaghetti. These deep-sea worms are aptly named. They're called spaghetti worms. However, scientifically, they're known as polychaetes. These creatures are typically characterized by their numerous tentacle-like appendages that extend from their bodies, resembling a bunch of spaghetti noodles. It just so happened that this particular specimen is luminescent, which makes it look like some kind of alien food. Despite their bizarre appearance, these guys are deposit feeders, meaning they consume organic material found in the sediment, which helps recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Basically, these creatures are pretty important in the ecosystem of the deep sea. Number 17. Mysterious nightmare shark. I don't know about you, but there's really something quite unnerving about this shark. I can't even look at it for more than half a minute. This creature was hauled up from about 2,130 feet beneath the waves off the coast of New South Wales, Australia. Needless to say, the angler who scored this fish was quite stumped by its appearance. This bizarre shark had rough sandpaper-like skin, a large pointed snout, and enormous bulging green eyes. But what truly set it apart is its unsettling smile, which looks disturbingly human-like with its exposed pearly.
Is that a sturgeon? I can't recall if that's the proper name for it or what it looks like to me or similar to it. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I think that kind of resembles a sturgeon, if I'm not mistaken.
Whites. Yep, that's nightmare fuel right there. As soon as the image of this shark hit social media, a lot of people immediately took notice of it. Some thought it might be a cookie cutter shark, known for its distinctive circular bite marks on larger animals, while others suggested it could be a goblin shark or a species of lantern shark. However, the angler himself claimed that the shark he captured was a rough skin shark, or endeavor dogfish, a type of gulper shark. Despite Bermagui's confidence, the debate didn't end there. Some experts proposed it might be a deep-water kitefin shark, while others leaned towards it being a rough-skinned dogfish, a type of sleeper shark. The uncertainty stems from the fact that many deep-sea shark species look quite similar, making identification challenging without a thorough examination. Number 16. Pig butt worm.
I tried to look it up, but I'm not really seeing any close-up pictures of it because I think they mouth resemble, but I can't really find where somebody's every picture I see on here, somebody's catching one and holding it as a trophy catch, but they're not showing it up close to the screen to where you can see the mouth, because I think that's the most unique quality that it has, the mouth part of it, but I'm not seeing it, so maybe I'm wrong.
In 2001, researchers discovered this peculiar creature off the coast of California's Monterey Bay. The pig butt worm gets its charming nickname from its resemblance to a pig's rear end. This tiny hazelnut-sized worm has a ballooned midsection that provides buoyancy, allowing it to float through the ocean rather than sticking to the seafloor like its parchment worm relatives. Because of how bizarre it is, it wasn't until years after its first sighting that it was officially described. In 2007, DNA sequencing confirmed it belonged to the Catopterid family, a group of bristleworms known for creating papery tubes on the seafloor. But what makes the pig butt worm truly fascinating is its feeding method. It dines on marine snow. That sounds incredible. However, marine snow is actually something quite, unappetizing for us. Marine snow is a mix of dead animals, feces, and other organic material that drifts down from the upper layers of the ocean. To capture this nutritious quote-unquote snow, the pig butt worm casts out a web of mucus, which traps the falling particles. This method is quite effective in the sparse deep-sea environment where food can be hard to come by. Researchers continue to study the pig butt worm to understand its traits and its role in the deep-sea ecosystem. Number 15. Ghost shark. Here's another shark that seems like a spawn straight from hell. This shark was captured during a 2018 deep-sea survey in the Andaman Sea in Thailand. The ghost shark was found lurking at depths between 2,533 and 2,543 feet below the ocean surface. This shark, with a massive head and giant eyes, known as Chimera supapi, belongs to a group of ancient fish known as chimeriforms, which are
even the eyes look dead. Look at the eyes. The eyes they don't look you know what I mean? They look dead.
Distant relatives of sharks and rays. These ghostly figures are seldom seen, making their discovery even more thrilling for marine biologists. This particular specimen was recognized by its distinct features: a massive head with a short snout, large oval iridescent eyes that account for over 32% of its head length, and broad pectoral fins with feather-like frills. But the most peculiar thing about this creature is its iridescent eyes. As bizarre as it is to us, this iridescent green hue helps the creature navigate the pitch-black waters of its deep-sea habitat. Its dark brown skin, devoid of noticeable lines or patterns, adds to its ghostly appearance. The fish also possesses a dorsal spine atop its head, adding to its otherworldly look. So far, this is only the 54th known species of chimera ever found. Chimeras, or ghost sharks, are ancient creatures with evolutionary roots tracing back 300 to 400 million years. This lineage places them among the oldest living lineages of fish. With its rarity and antiquity, each specimen from this species is considered a valuable find. Number 14. Oldest submerged city in Greece. In 1967, Nicholas Fleming discovered the oldest submerged town in the world. Lying just off the coast of southern Laconia in Greece is Pavlopetri. This city dates back to around 5,000 years, placing its origin in the final Neolithic period. Pavlopetri's layout is remarkably well preserved. Despite its antiquity, it has an incredibly sophisticated urban planning that rivals that of cities built later. The city boasts streets, two-story houses with gardens, temples, a cemetery, and even a complex water management system featuring channels and water pipes. In the heart of the city, there was a large plaza measuring about 131 by 65 feet, and many buildings had up to 12 rooms, which is quite astounding for a city its age. The town was also a bustling maritime hub during its time, facilitating local and long-distance trade, particularly with the Minoan and Mycenaean civilizations. A wide range of artifacts was found at the site, including large clay storage containers, statues, and everyday tools, which shows just how advanced these people were for their time. Unfortunately, even this great city's reign came to an end. Luckily, it's greatly preserved. Pavlopetri's preservation is partly due to its submersion caused by seismic activity and rising sea levels. A series of earthquakes, combined with a gradual sea level rise, submerged the city around 1000 BCE. Ever since, it's remained underwater. But until the ocean fully reduces its ruins, the legacy of Pavlopetri will remain. Number 13. Mysterious Golden Orb. In the depths of the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Alaska, researchers of NOAA discovered a bizarre golden orb. The orb was discovered on August 30, 2023, at a depth of about 2 miles below the surface. This golden dome-shaped object, roughly 4 inches in diameter, was tightly adhered to a rocky outcrop among white sponges. The orb features a small hole near its base, which has prompted various theories about its nature. However, after carefully using a suction sampler to bring it to the surface, the team confirmed it's biological in origin. The rest of its identification, however, remains a mystery. Some believe it's nothing but an egg casing, but others also believe that it might be something else. Number 12. 15-ton stone pillars. In 2015, researchers discovered one intriguing underwater discovery: 15-ton stone pillars. These pillars were discovered in the Sicilian Channel between Tunisia and Sicily and date back approximately 9,300 years to the Mesolithic period. Thousands of years ago, Stone Age hunter-gatherers in a now submerged area of the Mediterranean Sea made an effort to cut limestone pillars with a precision that was unseen for their time. These pillars weigh a staggering 15 tons each, and they were transported nearly 984 feet in distance. Needless to say, the effort needed to create, transport, and arrange the pillars is immense. Analysis of shell fragments and the surrounding sediment indicates that the pillar was fashioned before the area was submerged due to rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age. This also proved that, contrary to what we initially believed, hunter-gatherers in the past actually understood tools. The mystery, however, lies in the purpose of this stone pillar arrangement. Why did people 9,300 years ago bother to exert such effort? That still remains a mystery.
See, but this makes me think that history is deemed to repeat itself, or doomed to repeat itself. Because I see, what do y'all think would be the first thing that we know of, that we're familiar with? Whether it be one of the states or, you know what I mean? Which one will be underwater first? Will it be like New Orleans? Like people see the flooding that goes on there. Remember Katrina and different things that happen? Florida, as much disasters as they've seen in the floodings they've dealt with. Like, what do y'all think the first thing that we know of and are familiar with and have grown up around or lived in our whole life will be underwater? Because if you could see, it's happened in the past.
Number 11. 13,800-year-old ancient site. Recently, an unmanned robotic vehicle made an extraordinary underwater discovery. Archaeologists have found a 13,800-year-old Haida site off the coast of British Columbia, Canada. This site, located in Juan Perez Sound near the Haida Gwaii archipelago, provides the oldest evidence of human habitation in Canada. In this settlement, researchers discovered a man-made structure used to corral fish, situated about 400 feet underwater. This suggests that the area was once dry land, a notion supported by geological evidence indicating that the site has been submerged since the end of the last ice age, approximately 11,000 years ago. The Weir's discovery is significant not only for its age, but also because it aligns with Haida oral histories that speak of great floods forcing their ancestors to relocate. The site includes other potential camp formations from the same era, suggesting a well-established community engaged in fishing and other activities. To this day, however, much is left to discover about the Haida people. Number 10. Apollo 11 engines. In most cases, spacecraft re-enter the planet and fall to the ocean. Although SpaceX has found a way to safely carry out an ocean landing, it was a different circumstance years ago. On July 16, 1969, during the iconic Apollo 11 mission that made an indelible mark in the history of mankind, F-1 engines fell into the Atlantic Ocean shortly after liftoff. For years, astronomers have been trying to recover these engines, but with no luck. In 2012, Jeff Bezos decided to step in. That year, recovery efforts began in earnest. Using state-of-the-art deep-sea sonar, his team located the engines and subsequently employed remotely operated vehicles to retrieve them. This mission required extensive technological capabilities, including miles of fiber optic cables and powerful electric transmissions to control the ROVs at such extreme depths. The engines, which provided 1.5 million pounds of thrust each and burned 6,000 pounds of fuel per second, were crucial in launching Apollo 11's Saturn V rocket. They endured a fiery re-entry and a violent impact with the ocean surface, resulting in a bizarre sight of twisted metal on the seabed. Despite the damage and heavy corrosion, the team was able to recover enough components to potentially reconstruct 2 full engines. Upon their recovery, the engines were sent to the Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center for conservation. This meticulous process involved stabilizing the hardware to prevent further corrosion while preserving the story of their dramatic end. Number 9. Underwater crop circles. Upon looking at these circles, what would you think they are? Man-made patterns? Shapes drawn by extraterrestrials? Or something else? These are known as underwater crop circles, and they were discovered in 1995. These intricate 7-foot-wide geometric patterns bear a striking resemblance to the mysterious crop circles seen on land. For over a decade, their origins were unknown, sparking theories ranging from extraterrestrial activity to geological processes. These crop circles were a complete mystery until years later in 2011 when researchers finally discovered the creators of these curious circles. It turned out that these underwater crop circles were neither man-made nor caused by extraterrestrial phenomena. Rather, these crop circles were created by male white-spotted pufferfish. Despite being only about 5 inches long, these fish produce some of the most ordered and symmetrical structures in nature. The male pufferfish spends 7 to 9 days tirelessly swimming along the sea floor, using his fins to create valleys and ridges in the sand. The result is a complex and aesthetically pleasing pattern, complete with peaks decorated with shells and coral fragments. Males create these circles to attract a mate. When a female approaches, the male performs a courtship display by stirring up sand in the center of the circle. If the female is impressed, she'll lay her eggs in the central nest area, which the male then fertilizes. The better the circle, the higher the chances of attracting a mate. After laying their eggs, this pattern serves as their nest until the small puffers hatch. How or why these creatures began to exhibit this behavior, however, remains a mystery. Number 8.
We need to check back in to see did he get his woman. You know what I'm saying? He did all that work. I would be mad if he did all that work and she came there and looked and was like, and kept swimming. We need to put her in some type of fish jail. Yes, we do.
Cold water mirage. Fata Morgana, or the ice-cold mirage, is a complex optical illusion that has fascinated people for centuries. This phenomena causes people to see things or mirages in certain atmospheric conditions. A Fata Morgana can make objects such as ships, islands, or icebergs appear elongated, stacked, or even floating in midair. The effect is most commonly observed over large bodies of water, especially in polar regions, but it can occur anywhere with the right atmospheric conditions. These mirages are characterized by their rapid changes in complex structure, often involving multiple inverted and upright images of the same object. The science behind a fata morgana involves the bending of light rays as they pass through air layers of different temperatures and densities. When light travels through the colder, denser air near the surface and then enters a layer of warmer air above, it bends towards the denser layer. This bending causes the distant objects to appear distorted and elevated, creating the mirage. The specific conditions required for a fata morgana, stable stratified air layers with significant temperature differences, make it a relatively rare phenomenon. While it might sound harmless, a fata morgana has the possibility of harming ships and confusing sailors in the ocean. Number 7. Cannibalistic Shark. Years ago, scientists in Australia tagged a healthy 9-foot great white shark as part of a program to track these animals. Now, 4 months later, they detected the tracking device on a shore. Something chilling occurred. Something incredibly big had eaten the 9-foot behemoth. But what creature could possibly dine on this apex predator? The recovered data showed a sudden temperature increase from 46 degrees Fahrenheit to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. This rise in temperature shows that the tag had been ingested by another animal. Along with this, the tracker recorded a rapid plunge to a depth of 1,900 feet. These clues suggested that Shark Alpha had been eaten by a much larger predator, igniting widespread speculation about what kind of creature could overpower a formidable great white shark. Godzilla? Kraken? Colossal shark? The list was endless. After a thorough investigation and analysis, however, the most possible culprit, according to researchers, was another great white shark, one that's bigger and more powerful. This colossal cannibal was estimated to be around 16 feet long and weigh over 2 tons. Such instances of cannibalism among great whites, while rare, are not unheard of. It's hypothesized that territorial disputes or extreme hunger could drive these massive predators to attack and consume smaller members of their own species. To this day, however, the giant creature who ate this shark remains unseen. And so, somewhere out there in the ocean is a ferocious beast who managed to consume a 9-foot-long shark. Number 6. Friendly Floaty Spill. In 1992, a container ship en route from Hong Kong to the United States encountered a storm in the North Pacific. The storm caused several containers to fall overboard, including one containing precious cargo, 28,800 plastic bath toys such as yellow ducks, red beavers, blue turtles, and green frogs. These toys, designed without holes, floated and began a journey across the world's oceans. This might not sound like a minor accident, but it's one that continues to affect the world's oceans to this day. However, scientists turned this incident into an opportunity. Oceanographers Curtis Ebbesmeyer and James Ingram saw this as an opportunity to track the toys to study ocean currents. They enlisted the help of beachcombers and used the ocean surface current simulation model to predict the toys' movements. Within 10 months, the first of these toys began washing up on the shores of Alaska, over 2,000 miles from where they fell into the sea. Over the years, the toys continued their journey, washing up in locations as far apart as Hawaii, Japan, and even the UK. The data collected from these beachcombing reports allowed scientists to refine their models of ocean currents and better understand how objects move through the marine environment. To this day, many of these toys are still afloat, their colors bleached by the sun, but otherwise intact. So if you see one of them floating in the ocean, you might want to pick it up and dispose of it properly. Otherwise, these floaties can end up in the stomach of a poor marine creature. Number 5. Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, a group of Swedish treasure hunters known as the Ocean X Team discovered a bizarre circle object on the floor of the northern Baltic Sea. This structure measures over 190 feet in diameter, and at first glance, it really looks like something man-made, or at least, it looks like something deliberately crafted. With its appearance and the lack of information surrounding it, theories about this structure immediately spread. And so began the story of the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Today, conspiracy theories about this structure being an extraterrestrial spaceship are quite renowned. However, scientific analysis suggests more mundane explanations. Geologists and marine experts have proposed that the anomaly is likely a natural formation, possibly a glacial deposit left over from the last ice age. This region of the Baltic Sea is known for such glacial remnants, which could explain the unusual shape of the structure. Despite the experts' proposal, the anomaly's appearance and the subtle remarks from the Ocean X team kept the intrigue about this discovery alive. Number 4. Ancient City of Dwarka. Dwarka, in Hindu scriptures, is an ancient city established by Lord Krishna, who reclaimed the land from the sea. Akin to Atlantis, this city was said to be a prosperous and fortified metropolis and was eventually submerged into the Arabian Sea following Krishna's departure from the world. Now, for so long, the existence of this ancient city was believed to be confined in mythology. Recently, however, it seems like this isn't the case. It seems like off the coast of Gujarat, India, is this ancient city. Explorations of these ruins began in the 1930s, with significant underwater archaeological activities occurring between 1963 and 1990. These investigations, led by marine archaeologists, uncovered numerous ancient artifacts, including foundations of buildings, stone blocks, pillars, and anchors, suggesting the presence of a well-planned city dating back to 3000 to 1500 BCE. The city is often described in ancient texts as a grand city with majestic gates and towering buildings. The physical evidence retrieved from the seabed includes remnants that align with these descriptions, which is—
I wonder what caused them to stop, though. You know they didn't get everything from down there. And see, in my mind, I'm thinking there's still some valuable things down there, still some answers to questions that we may have about that city, if it's similar to Atlantis or not. It's probably still a lot. I wonder what made them stop, though. Just curious.
Is quite surprising. To make this submerged city more accessible to the public, Gujarat is launching India's first submarine tourism initiative. Starting with Diwali 2024, tourists will be able to explore the underwater ruins of Dwarka in specially designed submarines. To this day, however, there's much to discover about this ancient city. Number 3. The Silfra Crack. There's not much left unknown about the Silfra Crack. Just as its name suggests, the Silfra Crack is, well, a huge crack in our planet. However, its implications for our planet are still something we're studying. The Silfra Crack, located in Thingvellir National Park in Iceland, is one of the world's most unique and stunning diving sites. It lies between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, which are gradually drifting apart at a rate of about 2 centimeters per year. This geological wonder offers divers and snorkelers the extraordinary opportunity to touch 2 continents underwater simultaneously. With that being said, this location is one of the most astounding on Earth. Formed by seismic activity, Silfra is filled with crystal clear glacial meltwater that has been naturally filtered through porous underground lava for decades, resulting in visibility exceeding well over 320 feet. The water temperature is consistently cold, ranging between 2 to 4 degrees Celsius year-round, making the use of dry suits essential for divers and snorkelers. Diving in Silfra is often described as otherworldly due to the surreal clarity of the water and the unique rock formations. Now, perhaps some of you guys have experienced diving in this location. If so, feel free to share your experience in the comments down below. Number 2. New Jersey's Deep Sea Train Graveyard. Deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, off the coast of Long Branch, New Jersey, is an underwater train graveyard. Yes, you heard that right. There's a train graveyard underwater. It was first spotted by scuba diver Paul Hepler in 1985, and it contains 2 rare steam locomotives that have been resting on the ocean floor since the 1850s. Despite the fact that these locomotives have been submerged underwater for so long, they still hold more value than unused trains on land. These locomotives were later identified as Planet Class 222T models and are unique due to their small size and historical significance. These trains, which were likely en route from Boston to the Mid-Atlantic region, are believed to have been lost during a storm. What's strange, however, is the fact that despite extensive search, there seem to be no historical records documenting the loss of this train. And so today, these locomotives sit upright on the seabed, covered in marine vegetation and barnacles, almost as if they were still ready to chug along an underwater railway. It's likely that until nature reclaims the entire wreck, records of these locomotives won't ever resurface again. And now it's time for today's topic. a group of anglers found themselves further than they usually are in their fishing route, and what they captured in the ocean terrified the whole world. There are a lot of bizarre things in the ocean. With how vast it is, the majority of it is still undiscovered and relatively unexplored. And so, when explorers saw this bizarre object, they couldn't believe their eyes. Was it a statue? Or something else entirely? Fata Morgana and other illusions can easily distort our vision in the ocean. This makes the deep blue trickier. In the vast expanse, sometimes your own eyes can deceive you. Does anyone here experience something unexplained while in the ocean? Feel free to share your experience in the comments down below. Number 1. Green Flash. There are instances when people walking on the beach come across a sudden burst of green flash in the distance. This phenomenon is aptly named the green flash. The green flash is a rare and captivating optical phenomenon that occurs just before sunrise or right after sunset. It's a momentary burst of green light that can be seen on the upper edge of the sun's disk. For so long, the reason behind this existence was a complete mystery. Historically, the green flash has been surrounded by myths and legends. Sailors once believed it signified the arrival of good luck or the presence of supernatural beings. Recently, however, the nature of this phenomenon has been largely debunked. Today, it's believed that this phenomenon happens due to the sun and the Earth's atmosphere. As the sun sets or rises, its light passes through a thicker layer of the atmosphere, which acts like a prism, bending and separating the light into different colors. The atmosphere scatters the shorter blue and violet wavelengths, leaving the longer red, orange, and yellow wavelengths. The green light, being an intermediate wavelength, is bent the least and becomes momentarily visible just before the sun disappears below the horizon or reappears at dawn. Despite this explanation, people continue to believe that the green flash is associated with paranormal or extraterrestrial phenomena.